I'm swimming in my lane, you can see I'm out here coasting, but the water's freezing and I'm lost in the ocean. Personal belongings have been washed away and soaking. All I got left is my soul, but even that is broken. Trip of a lifetime, let's fucking go. Alright, so any incoming traffic right now into my YouTube channel is obviously here from the Kill Tony episode. I didn't get a chance to plug anything while I was up there, but I'm dropping some stuff on December 23rd, the night that the episode airs. So I figured I'd put together a short video going through that and also providing like a guide to my YouTube channel for anyone who wants to fuck with my shit but doesn't know where to start. And anyone who might be seeing this and to some degree does fuck with my shit, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And my podcast is also on Spotify and Apple. If you could subscribe on those platforms also, I definitely appreciate it. It makes a difference for somebody like me who only has 343 subscribers on YouTube and literally 0 subscribers on Spotify and Apple. And I don't mind asking people to subscribe because it costs no money and it takes minimal effort. Everything I do, I put out for free. So the best way to show support, if anybody wants to show it, is by subscribing. I'm recording this episode Monday, December 16th. It's the Monday in between my Kill Tony appearance and when it airs. This is the first Monday in over 2 years that I was in Austin and I didn't go to Kill Tony. I've missed episodes during Thanksgiving break, but I was in Florida visiting my parents. It's not like I was in town and chose not to go. But I was thinking like, fuck it, it's pointless to go. I wouldn't even want to get pulled in back-to-back episodes. And Tony would have vomited if he saw my name again. I don't think he thinks I'm very funny. But it just feels so fucking good to not feel like I have to go sign up for Kill Tony, because that's the point it got to. Way too much time had elapsed since my last appearance and I started feeling like mad pressure to get back up there relatively soon. So I felt like I couldn't miss an episode just in case that was the week my name would have been picked. Like I could take the risk that the week it would have happened is the week I didn't sign up. Okay, so if anybody watching this is going to check out one thing on my YouTube channel, let it be the Message to God music video. I consider that to be like my masterpiece as a human being. That video is the best I got. If someone's going to formulate an opinion of me based off of one video, I would want it to be that one. And if they're not fuck with that shit, then they're just not feeling the kid. And the music video called A Beam of Light is a close second behind the Message to God music video. So I'd say watch those 2 music videos as the first thing you do if you're gonna check my shit out. And I have my previous 3 Kill Tony appearances edited together on one video, which I'm gonna swap out with a new video of all 4 Kill Tony appearances once the episode airs and I have time to edit them together. I'd imagine anyone who's coming to my YouTube channel right now is gonna want to watch that as like one of the first things they do. That's called Stern Worm on Kill Tony appearances 1 through 3. And then once I add the latest one from the other day and I swap it out, it's obviously gonna be called Stern Worm Kill Tony appearances 1 through 4. And everything on the homepage of my YouTube channel is sectioned off into different categories and labeled accordingly. I broke it up by the podcast, music videos, mixtapes, and the miscellaneous category. YouTube only allows users to put 12 videos in each section, so I had to break the music videos and the podcast up into multiple tabs. So on my channel's homepage, I have a tab for my newest music videos post 2020, and then I have another tab for my older music videos pre 2020. Then I have a tab with my 12 newest podcast episodes, and then I have more tabs breaking up the rest of the podcast episodes by like groups of 12. And then I have a miscellaneous category which has the video of my previous Kill Tony performances and some rap and comedy performances. And then I have a few more tabs with music, one with part of the Trip of a Lifetime album and 4 more each with my mixtapes. Like each tab is a different mixtape, but it's not like the full mixtape. It's just like half of each one. But the tracks that I think are the best on each mixtape, they're all posted. But I mean, all my shit's crazy, so the shit that's not posted is still fucking dope as fuck. And like I said before, I'm recording this before the Kill Tony episode airs, but the day the episode does air, December 23rd, which will have already happened for anybody seeing this, I'm dropping a music video called Walking Towards the Light, and I'm also going to drop a podcast episode called Pre-Kill Tony 697 airing, which will be episode 37 of the podcast. And that day, December 23rd, I'm also dropping the audio recording of the verse that I rapped, or that I started rapping on Kill Tony, which is called Misunderstood. And I have a podcast episode that's like been recorded and I'm sitting on, and it's called Sexual Identity is a Construct, and I initially plan on dropping that the day that the Kill Tony episode airs, like so also on December 23rd, but I feel like that's overkill and too much for one day, so I'd rather just hold on to it an extra week and drop it the Monday after the Kill Tony appearance airs. So I'll be dropping Sexual Identity is a Construct on December 30th, and that'll be episode 38 of the podcast. And then once I've watched and digested the Kill Tony episode, I'm going to put together a post Kill Tony airing episode, which, assuming I have it ready in time, I'll drop the following Monday after I put out Sexual Identity as a Construct. So the post Kill Tony podcast will presumably be dropping on January 6th, and that'll be episode 39 of my podcast. And then I also have 2 music videos that I've had stashed away for a while now, and I'm gonna put those out alongside the 2 podcast episodes that I just referenced. The first music video is called Paving My Path, and I'll drop that with Sexual Identity as a Construct. And then the second music video is called Releasing Primal Energy, and I'll drop that with the post Kill Tony airing podcast. So that covers what I'm dropping in conjunction with the Kill Tony episode airing. And going forward, I'm going to stick with Mondays as the release date for episodes of the podcast. It's not going to be every Monday, but whenever I do have an episode to drop, it'll be released Monday evenings at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern time, kind of like as an appetizer to Kill Tony. But so in terms of music videos, like I said at the beginning, first I check out the Message to God music video and A Beam of Light, that music video, and Walking Towards the Light, the one that I just dropped. And then after those 3 videos, I'd say watch the Quantum Worm music video. Those are the 4 music videos that I've put out ever since my last Kill Tony appearance. They're my newest music videos. I really like how they look, and they're all relatively new verses, so that's where I want to drive any incoming traffic. I think those 4 videos together is kind of like the best representation of Stern Worm. And the Waiting on My Moment music video is also one of the first music videos to watch because it incorporates Kill Tony, and that music video is kind of like a lead up to the most recent appearance. Watch that music video right after previous Kill Tony appearances. That will set the mood for that music video. And then anyone who's looking to backtrack other music videos, the main ones to check out are Jesus Worm, Jack and DJ Premier Beats, Let Me Make You a Believer, Planet Earth, and History in the Making. And if anyone's really diving deep into my shit, there's a few more music videos on my channel. I just didn't feel like listing them all. And then in terms of the podcast, if anyone's actually looking to watch or listen to episodes but doesn't know where to start, I recommend starting at episode 24, That Mask's Not Gonna Save You. That starting point makes sense chronologically, and it's a good streak of episodes from there, in my opinion. And I'd say watch from that episode all the way through to the newest episodes. And if you made it that far and you still want more, I'd say go back and start from the beginning with episode 1 at that point, and then watch all the way through to episode 23. I'm not sure what episode that is. I think it's the Cat Williams episode. And if someone wanted to cherry pick a few episodes that stand out to me, are Episode 25, Happiness Isn't a Destination. That's kind of like my favorite episode. Episode 26, Protesting Our Devices. Episode 28, ESPN created a sport called women's college basketball. And episode 34, Instagram encourages pedophilia. And then an earlier episode to check out is episode 4, which is called Trip of a Lifetime. That was recorded right after I did the shit that I was talking about on Kill Tony. It's a heavy episode, and I think it makes for good content. And then a couple other older episodes that are classics in my opinion are episode 7, Ha Ha Ha, My Bracket Busted, and episode 12, Fantasy Football's Gay as Fuck. You can't go wrong with those 2 episodes. And then anyone who's all about Stern Worm and at that point still wants more, I have a bunch of my music posted on my YouTube channel. It's all separated in tabs by what album or mixtape it's on. Some of what I would recommend is The Muse, Choose to Be Chosen, Starving Wolves, Surviving the Times, 0 to 100, Jersey Shit, Worm in His Pen, I Mean It, Started from the Bottom, and Journey of a Lifetime. But all my shit's dope, like I said. Everything I have posted, in my opinion, is really good. And the track Surviving the Times, which is one of my favorite verses that I have, I just mentioned it as one of the songs to check out. It's part of the Let Me Make You a Believer music video, but I re-recorded that verse, so I posted the audio version of it. It sounds much better now, and I highly recommend listening to it. So that's kind of a comprehensive look at my YouTube channel. And then in terms of what to expect going forward, it's all podcast stuff from here. After I finish working on my post-Kill Tony episode podcast. The next episode on my plate from there is going to be the Path of Destiny episode. I've always called the journey that I'm on my Path of Destiny, hence like why I have the Path of Destiny sign. It's just like always been a major concept of my music, so it's a no-brainer to put together a podcast episode called Path of Destiny, telling the journey up until this point. I've actually already recorded it. I recorded it twice at the studio that I used to record it, but I'm gonna re-record it because I just want to do it again. I want to do it fresh. I didn't really like how I did those episodes, but those episodes each took 4 hours. I had to break them up into multiple parts, so I expect the new recording to be the same. I'm going to try to fit into 2 episodes, assuming that's the case. Path of Destiny Part 1 will be episode 40 of the podcast, and then Part 2 will be episode 41 of the podcast. The plan is to put out Part 1 of the Path of Destiny episodes 2 weeks after the Post Kill Tony podcast episode, and then I want to put out Part 2 of the Path of Destiny 2 weeks after Part 1 drops. Without putting pressure on myself to get episodes ready, I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible putting out episodes, because now that I presumably have traffic drawn to my YouTube channel, I want to be consistent now. That's why I didn't give a fuck about being consistent before. But if my YouTube channel gains any momentum from the Kill Tony appearances, I want to keep that going. So the goal is to get episodes ready quick enough to drop an episode every other week for as long as possible, as long as I could keep it up. Getting episodes ready in 2 weeks would be exponentially easier if it wasn't for work. I drive Uber Eats, and it feels like every time I sit down to get some podcasting work done, I get a decent delivery that I gotta accept and I gotta leave my apartment. Unfortunately, like, the podcast has to come secondary to my real job. And the good thing is, in terms of like being able to stay consistent with dropping episodes, I have 30 to 40 unreleased episodes. They're the original episodes of the podcast. I initially wasn't releasing episodes when I would record, so I'm sitting on all of those, and I'll be mixing them in with the new episodes. And that's basically the main reason I want to have episodes in the stash, for what I was just mentioning, so that after I got on Kill Tony, I could stay consistent dropping episodes with the regular pattern for a fairly long time. It's going to be like at least 2 years before I fall off every other week with dropping episodes. Like, having 30, 40 episodes in the stash, that's like a year's worth of episodes. So it's not going to be difficult to keep pace. But I had just alluded to it a minute ago that the older episodes are from when I used to record at an actual studio. Now I just like record on my iPhone in my apartment, so you'll know the difference whether or not it's newer or older episode by the visual. Like, when you see this visual, this is my newer setup. The stashed episodes all have the same setup from like the first 7 episodes that I released of the podcast, because I'd put a few episodes of that podcast out while I was still doing it at the studio. But in my opinion, those are all like vintage episodes. Some of them that stand out are Sex, Love, and Purpose, Fuck Education, The Austin Ice Storm of 2023, and Voting Doesn't Matter. And Totally My Whip is also a good one. So like I said, after I put out the Post Kill Tony podcast episode, I'm gonna work on the Path of Destiny episodes, and then like I also said, I'll be mixing in older episodes. But in terms of new episodes going forward at that point, it's gonna be an onslaught of sexuality episodes. I have like at least a zillion pages of notes of like my perspectives on sexuality and sexual philosophy, and also like pertaining to my personal situation. I just got to start organizing everything into like actual episodes. I do have 2 sexuality episodes that are fully hammered out that I never recorded. I haven't looked at those in a while. I have to check them out, and if they're coherent, then I'll lay them down as 2 of the initial sexuality episodes that I put out. The very first sexuality episode that I plan on working on, and the one that I want to drop after the Path of Destiny episodes, is going to be called Journey of a Lifetime. In that episode, I'm going to tell the story of my sexual futility and how I got to the point of where I am, and that will presumably be episode 43 of the podcast. And then that's all I got for this episode, even though it's not really like an episode. So for anyone looking for new Trip of Lifetime podcast episodes any week when it's happening, it's going to happen at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern time, and expect the frequency to be about once every other week. Star Harm, Trip of a Lifetime. Let's fucking go.